Hey, good day. This is masesq with a new Bleach Immortal Souls video. I'm going to go ahead and feature what I'm going to be running in the team's Kenpachi contest that begins tomorrow, at least for my server and the servers we play against. I just wanted to give everybody a kind of breakdown of what I'm using. I thought it'd be kind of fun. I don't think I've done that in quite a while, so let's go ahead and get on into it. Team 1, and again, when I say the teams, I will change the order they come in, especially on the dailies if you break into the top 64. But so when I say Team 1, don't necessarily think I'm always using them first. With that, let's go ahead. As you can see, for my first team, I'm featuring Black Tortoise Sage Hall, which again is probably the best in my opinion. I love that Sage Hall, and I especially love using it with Nell and Bleed teams. And the reason for that is because they give you that nice wall and protection. A lot of times, based on your War Souls, your Nell's not going to go off till round 2. In my particular case, I don't put a Sura or anything on her, so I like the protection to start off. You got Irahara, you know, because you got Bleed teams, so you get those extra shields. As you can see, the War Souls I'm currently using on him is a War Soul of Vigilance and the War Soul of Silence. And of course, I'm using the Silence on this team because I believe I only have one attacker, so I can maximize that because it's only for defensive and skill-based characters. Of course, you gotta have version 2 out there on the front lines if you're going to go ahead and run this Soul Hall. I use a War Soul of Courage and a War Soul of Chaos on him. I like the Chaos on him because he hits all characters, so you're getting those skills and effects on all characters when he rages. And of course, I've got Aizen V2 and the other slot on the front line. Again, using the Vigilance. I've really found to really love Vigilance of late. Plus, quite honestly, I've had more drops of that one, it seems, than anything else. So, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do with the War Souls you have. And of course, a War Soul of Pacifism on him. Get that a little rage reduction to help you prolong your characters, because this team is really based on the second round attack. Backline, of course, you're gonna have Nell first because you want to take advantage of her skill set and damage increase. As you can see on her, I use a Crimson and Rage. And then of course we've got Armored Yororichi. I use a War Soul of Crit on him, and I also use a War Soul of Avatar for purposes of I like that skill set with this particular team. Last but definitely not least in this type of team build is Stark. With him I've got a Wrath and of course using Vitality because you get those bleed damage increases. Let's go to Team 2. Soul Hall effect on Team 2, I'm using the Tensa one. I like that with a highly effective attack-based team. As you can see, I've got 4 out of the 6 characters are going off on round 1. I love that. In the front line, I'm going with UR Toshiro. I know a lot of people don't use him. He wasn't the most popular character when he came out. He's one of 2 of my favorite characters in the Bleach, so there was no way I wasn't going to force feed him into my teams. And I build him more defensive based, as you can see, with a War Soul of Armor and a War Soul of Evil. I love the Evil on him because you get the extra chance of stuns. I can't tell you how many times I see 2 get frozen and 2 or 3 get stunned, and you've basically eliminated, you know, 5 out of 6 characters on the other side round 1. And of course with Tensa you need that to maximize his damage. On the front line I also use another one of my favorites, the version 1 of him, and I use an eye on him and currently a crescent for this round go around. I use the eye on him because I like to make him a little bit more offensive based. That's mainly what I do with him in the one-on-ones, because he's healing himself anyway. He can take a little bit more damage, and then so I have the ability to hopefully kill a little quicker, because since he is defense based, he isn't doing the biggest attacks in the world by no means. I'm leaving it that way for this team base, because this is really an attack based team. So I'm hoping that he's going to add a little extra damage. Of course, we've got Unohana. I don't build mine to die. I build mine to survive. I look at it this way. If she stays alive, she's benefiting the team greatly with healing and extra rage. And if she dies, well, I've still got her set up to go ahead and maximize the team if she goes. I think she's a win-win in both cases. And once you build up a team strong enough where you don't need her to die, she actually becomes even a bigger benefit for you, because you get the best of both worlds, because either way it helps your team. Back row, I've got Yamamoto. As you can see with him, I use a shattering to get that effect accuracy up and strength, and I'm not using anything special on him this time around. I just threw it through the snow just to increase his stats, nothing more. White Ichigo, of course, he's really, in my opinion, at least for me, got a resurgence with Tensa because they work so well together to maximize Tensa on him. I'm also using a shattering, and same with him. I wasn't worried about the third slot, so I just put a giant. I wanted them focused on different teams, as you'll see in the next team I get to. And last but not least, what really is the focus of this team is Tensa, and with him I use a crit and a Warsaw of Tides. The reason why I use the Tides on him is because this is not a very defensive based team, so I want to make sure that he's staying alive if it doesn't end by round 2 usually. And the goal of this team is to decimate a team round 1 and finish them off round 2. Let's go to the last team I will be featuring in this go around, my team 3, which is the one I'm most interested in because I've been working on a couple different formations with them, and I really want to see what maximizes damage and see if they really can be just a complete damage destruction team out of the gate. I am using Bastalorde's Sage Hall, which I like too a lot, and in the front line I'm using the new Anniversary Ichigo, also with a Vigilance and with a Soaring. I think Soaring really works well with this team, so that's why I put it on him, because it's got the extra defensive symbol, so I wanted to maximize those stats by putting it on Anniversary Ichigo. And rounding out the round 2, it's ones you've seen in my team all the time, as you can tell, just trying to build that wall, especially with those two and Kenze in particular. The back line is where you're going basically for the kill immediately. I've got Bastalorde, of course, with a Wrath and a Permafrost. With the new Ichigo, I've got a Wrath, and of course I've got culling on him because of the damage he can do. So if you get any of the characters with HP less than 45%, then this is going to kick in and really take them out in the end. And of course, Anniversary Aizen, I put a Sura on him because I want him to make sure he rages round 1, and that's even though it's pretty guaranteed that you're going to get some kills with Bastalorde and the new Ichigo. I just wanted to make sure that there is absolutely no chance he's not also going off on round 1, because if I can get that whole back line to hit round 1, it's going to take out quite a few characters. And on the Aizen, I put the Warsaw Mystery, which is normally what I always run on the Aizen version 1, especially on one-on-one, because it's a great way to protect your character. You get that 1,000 shield and the attack bonus. And I find the newer Aizen is a little glassy at times, so I want to extra protect him in these teams. That's what I'm going to be running over the next week. Of course, I'll show you feature matches. The one I'm really most looking forward to is this Team 3, to see how they produce. And as I go through, if I decide to change out some and move some more souls and characters, I'll update that with everybody. Hope everybody has a great weekend. On a side note, I put up an update today to my last video on the Omni Shards. I wanted to put a correction in there because I had fell into the loop of what I do every day. It's almost mindless at times. I do the same thing every day when I at reset for this game, and I wasn't thinking, and I gave a nice little shout out to both the smart subscribers that caught that right out of the gate. And besides that, that's about it. You may see only some some feature matches for the next 2 or 3 days. But I will be back with some voice videos as well as the updated full tier list that I know more people are looking forward to than the 1v1. And besides that, like and subscribe. Have a great weekend. Have a good life. And I will talk to you soon.